Hey, good morning, everybody. My name's RJ, and welcome to my journey in mental health. For those of you that see this one for the first time, I have just quite recently begin battling mental illness, and I have just chosen to take some time off work in order to take a course that I believe is going to help me, and as well as to focus on myself and my mental health, to allow me basically to return to work in my normal life, or as close to a normal life as I can, with those abilities and the mechanisms and things that I need to learn in order to cope with my mental illnesses in the future. So a little bit about me. So with that, I want this to be a daily post. It is just going to be, I kind of just want to do an update, hopefully every morning, of kind of just, how my last day was. And I just really want it to be just another way of not only giving me a way of talking about what's going on. I've done 2 videos already, and I watch them right after I do them, and they're a little hard to get through, but I found it very good for me to voice those opinions, or not opinions, I guess is a bad word, but to say these out loud, and then to have the ability to hear them again. But with that too, I think there's a very big lack in mental illness communication. It's a very taboo thing to talk about today. In this day and age still, and I want to do this as well, just to support awareness for mental illness, get people talking about it, because really that's all awareness is. And you know what, maybe too, me sharing my story, if somebody watches this and it gives them the strength to, share their story, whether, it's public or, with a close family member, or, maybe if just somebody's been struggling with something and, they decide that, they want to stand in a mirror and they can vocalize it to themselves. Sometimes that as well as talk, I think that is talking about it as well. Maybe something that I go through can relate to somebody else, and maybe that they can find something useful out of it as well. So with that kind of wrap up too, I did also just want to say that this in no way has to do with any medical advice. I'm not a medical professional. I'm not trained in any of this. So if you're looking for, some form of, channel that's going to give you a lot of advice and exactly what you should do and things, talk to some therapists, look into some other channels. This isn't really that. This is kind of just a really raw look at one person's basically struggle and journey with mental health, and and I just want to let you know what works for me. So with that, in my last 2 videos, officially today I was accepted into this course. So with my anxiety I'm dealing with, I also have dealt with ADD in my entire life. So I found a course that's put on that focuses on cognitive learning and controlling multiple thoughts in your brain. So for me, I found that's very, that I think will be helpful, and I'm going to focus on that. But other than that, I don't want to get super into it. I just want to say, if you look around, I would bet no matter where you are, there's lots of programs, lots of online programs, things like that. So if you need help, and you want a program, just look there. I'm sure wherever you are, there's tons of programs in your area, whether it's group or internet or on your own, or even reading. The information's out there if you look, and the programs are there. But anyway, so I've chosen to do this course. And I want to give you guys updates every day. So yesterday I did my prep day, dealt with a lot of things in life, kind of wanted to get as much cleaned up as I could so that I could really start today fresh. Lots of ups and downs this morning, last night. As I said, this is all really new to me, so been quite very heavy morning for me today, and I do still have a few other things I'd like to get done. But it is day one, right? And I'm expecting there's going to be good days and bad days, but it's been a really rough week, and I think as per right now, it's definitely a good day. There's still a lot of tension there, but it's on the up and up. And I think that's due to yesterday. I kind of spent yesterday, I probably had about, I'm sure, 10 hours of phone calls. And one person in particular I talked to for nearly half the day, and we had a lot of talks. The first time we talked very specifically about me and what was going on and kind of what I wanted to do, and that was a really good talk. And then I called them back later that evening, and we'd had another conversation, and we were kind of expecting to do a lot of things in what we talked about, and it actually ended up being a conversation about this person ended up sharing their experience with me, which at the start was a little off-putting, as I was very much expecting to, I think I was a little bit in a selfish mindset that I was still expecting everything to be about me. But it very quickly, in listening to him and just, being in the moment and engaged in it, having, this person open up to me was almost at the time even more uplifting for me than it was when I was earlier sharing this story with them. And I believe our conversation went on for a few hours, and it ended with my wife coming down asking me if I was ready for supper, and it had been a few hours long. And I'd realized in that conversation that I hadn't really talked that much. And in that conversation, it was amazing. It was wonderful after. I reflect on a lot of things, and I think that's important, and it was a very good time for me. And I don't want to take a ton of time. As I said, it's new, so I don't have a lot of things right now that I know what's going on, and I do still have a fair amount I want to do today. But one thing I think I've noticed today is I know when we're struggling with this, we really just want to dump, and we just want to tell our story, and that's what we want to do. But when you're talking with somebody, especially somebody that's had a struggle with mental illness, talking about mental illness also needs to be a conversation. And I found yesterday for me on that, obviously, if you need to talk, you need to talk. But as you're talking with people and you're talking about mental health, just remember that listening when you're learning something new sometimes can be more uplifting and more empowering than talking. Just be open and honest. And that's what I want to do here today. But with that, as I said, I'm going to go on with my day. It's a little rainy here, but it's time to go get my dog's spring haircut. She looks like a mop, so that'll be exciting. So with that, yeah, my name's RJ. Thank you for joining me in another day of my journey in mental health. And remember, it's okay to be not okay.